Is Ryan asexual? Is he gray asexual? Welcome back to my channel. It's JusMeLah, and in today's video, I am giving you my reaction to Married at First Sight, Season 12, Episode 12. We start out with Brianna and Vincent. And what did I think? Let me look at my notes. Oh my goodness. Laugh out loud at Vincent being like, so I should do my videos like this. Okay, I'm just gonna read my notes this time around and we'll see what happens, because I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 9 pages of notes front and back. So in today's video, I'm going to just read my notes to you. Okay, almost like a monologue. Yeah, let's see how this goes. If it doesn't work out, you won't see it again. But if it does, we might continue. Brianna and Vincent. Laugh out loud at Vincent being like, so when you taking me on a boat ride, LOL, and him having this whole list of things. LMAO. Vincent is really serious and he always looks mad dry. Like he needs to follow some of Brianna's skincare routine. Because y'all remember back in like the first or second episode, she wanted to introduce him to her skincare routine. And he was like, I'm good. And I was like, he good. But now I'm like, he not good. Like he always looks dry. What's going on? Next is Virginia and Eric. He's so condescending, like so authoritative and controlling, a vibe killer. He sounds like he's lying about loving the dog. He was talking to her about her dog. They were sitting in bed and he was like, you know, I love the dog because, you know, he's so cool and chatting. So I say he sounds like he's lying about loving the dog. Then lo and behold, a few moments later, then after he's finished his rant about how they are each like their dogs, the truth comes out that he feels her dogs get in between them. I mean, I don't really care. I'm not really into dogs like that. But I just feel like say what you mean what you say. And I'm guilty of this too. I think we all are, about dancing around the issue. You don't want to come off like you're harsh. You don't want to hurt someone's feelings. So you try to ease your way into what you really want to say. Just get it out. And the truth is, he didn't really need to say all that stuff about loving her dog. The reality is he feels the dog is a problem and he's not here for it. Okay? Also, I said, who is he talking to being like the dog is half mine? Unless you're saying you want to end this right now. He always has like, is it an ultimatum? Basically, like he's always like just putting his foot down and telling her what he is and is not going to accept. I don't like the way he speaks. His body language, everything. He shrugs his shoulders. His hands are together. Okay? He's doing too much. He's very condescending. His energy is nasty. It's almost like he looks down on her and he feels like he needs to teach her, and because he's been married before, it's like a badge of honor, and so he has this experience that he must bestow this knowledge onto her and help her realize and see that he is the experienced one here. It's a very high horse. Calm down. Like your marriage failed, and granted, you've hopefully learned lessons from that you apply to your new relationship. But I don't think those lessons are necessarily for you to preach to your partner as much as it's for you to show up differently and better in your relationship. I hope his failed marriage didn't teach him to be condescending. Like, or maybe that's why his marriage failed, because you're condescending. Anyway, he's always backing her against the wall. Like it's almost abusive. I do think it's abusive. And we see how she responds. She feels like she's injured. She feels hurt by the way that he communicates with her. I can't wait for her to put her foot down. She does it like in small ways. She laughs it off and giggles about it, but it just really is annoying. Virginia walks out. She doesn't want to have the conversation with him, and he pretends that he's just oblivious. He's like, what's going on? And I'm like, sir, I feel like he's a sociopath or a psychopath. Obviously, I'm not a doctor. This is not an official diagnosis. This is a casual just labeling of this man. But something is wrong with him. He picks fights with her. He picks on her, talks down to her, gives her ultimatums. And when she reacts or her feelings are hurt or she wants to exit from the scene, the room, he acts like he doesn't understand what's happening. I'm just like, when she's out walking the dog to get away, to like get a break from the toxicity, from the red flags. Well, he's not a red flag. Well, he is a red flag, but anyway, When she's trying to get away from the toxicity, they show him in the bed smirking with the remote control, like he's unbothered, looking crazy. And I put like a psychopath. What is wrong with him? Like, he's above this. This doesn't bother him. It's like, it's two sides of the same coin. It's like one moment he's pleading and begging for her to be with him all the time, and the next she's disposable. Like, sis, go ahead, do what you want to do. I don't care. Then we get to Ryan and Clara, and they're doing tantric yoga. And my monologue, he just seems emotionally immature and not open to the purpose and goal of the tantric yoga. Example, him breaking focus often or laughing off the process. It's like he either thinks it's really dumb or it just makes him uncomfortable, just the idea of connecting more deeply. And so he just laughs to disrupt the awkwardness he feels. Child, how old is Ryan? Is he still in his 20s? Okay. When is he going to go through that? You know, when you just like go through this moment where I feel like it's ongoing. I've been having these moments since I was a young thing. Okay. That's why I'm so developed. I'm cutting that out. Anyway. Okay. What's my lip? I feel Clara when she says she can't be with anyone who can't be intimate with her. And for me, that resonated, not on like physical level, not on a sexual level, but on an emotional level. Like, if you can't dig deep, if you can't go deep, that's not going to work for me. Like, we just homies then. Like, you just want to kick it and laugh and talk and vibe. We can do that, but you're not going to be my husband. Like, where's the depth? Every time she wants to go deeper with him, it's just a brick wall. For somebody who's so spiritual, maybe he's just religious, but you would think that he could think deeply. And I think he does think deeply, but emotionally, he is not there. I was going to call him my brother, but he does not get them, my brother. Next week, I just bit my tongue. Okay. Virginia and Eric again. I wonder what made her go back in bed with him. What made her get back in bed with him after she came back from her walk? Did she like really calm down, woosah, and was she over everything that happened? I just felt like I would not want to be in a bed with you after that just happened. Okay, I would sit on the couch, sit on the ottoman or the stool or something around and near the bed, but I would not get back in the bed with you under the sheets. Maybe production told her to do that. Anyway, so I said Eric is dismissive of her feelings. He seems like a very selfish person to me. Like, it's weird because, again, I think he's self-centered. Everything is about him, or he just has an inflated sense of self. And so what he thinks, what he believes, his views, his plans take priority over everyone else's. And he's very dismissive of her feelings, okay? She finally lets him know that your behavior, your antics, they come off as controlling, not protective. Because Eric is saying, I want to protect you and da-da-da. She's like, well, that sounds good, but what you're actually doing is controlling. You are trying to control me. As though he owns her, okay? And that's how he reacts. He goes, you're my wife now. Like, and you're her husband. I don't understand why he says you're my wife now, as though he owns her. He belongs in the 19 whatever, where women were men's property, because clearly that's what he expects out of her, and that's not what she has signed up for. So that is why they are always bumping heads, and they need to bump heads and bounce out of each other's lives, because I do not support this. Okay, so he's mad that she brought up his drinking because it hurts his narrative that she is the one with the drinking problem. Yeah, it's like she let him know, when you get drunk, when you've been drinking, you start doing things that you shouldn't be doing. Like, I don't remember all the details, but I just know he got upset about that. And I think he also is upset about that because of his job. He doesn't want to seem like he has a substance abuse issue. But I mean, it is what it is. You're on a television show and your wife drinks often. And anyway, moving on. Oh, he said to her, I don't know. I put LOL in my notes because I think it's comical for me as much as I also think it's very alarming. But he told her, if you don't like it, then you can get out of it. And I just am like, he's going to be real salty when she actually leaves him. And she should actually leave him. He's so hot and cold. One minute he's all over her, policing her actions. And then the next he's like, you don't like it, then leave. And I think it's bothersome, and you can see the pain in her eyes when he does that, because it's like he does it knowing that she doesn't want to leave. It's like dehumanizing in a sense. It's like he just, I don't know if he's walking all over her, but I can feel her pain. He knows she doesn't want to leave. So you saying to her, if you don't like it, then leave. It's almost like he's punking her. That's what he's doing. He's punking her, because what's she going to do? She doesn't want to leave, so she's going to stay. I feel like he's taking advantage, or he's abusing his power. Anyway, he's always putting her, he's putting her in a position where she's getting sunned. Yes, punking her. See, I know what I'll be saying. He's putting her in a position where she's getting sunned by him all the time, and it's rude. What's on my lip? Nothing. Okay, or maybe something. Yes, he's putting her in a position where she's getting sunned all the time, and it's rude. So then they having this conversation about what happened a few nights ago or the night before. Apparently they went out and he didn't know where she was for 30 minutes. And I thought it was interesting, I use that word a lot, that he all of a sudden became the victim in this situation. He's like, I'm sorry, I didn't see you for 30 minutes. Like I'm sorry, I'm concerned because I didn't know where you were for 30 minutes. And I just wanted to know what was going on. Like, why didn't he know where she was? Where did she disappear to? That itself doesn't seem normal to me, that you're out with your boo and then you're gone and he doesn't know where you are. That's a problem. Okay, I say he was probably cramping her style. That's probably what it is. Okay, always on her, and she's like, okay. Okay, and then he's berating her like a child, saying, how long do you want to be mad? Keep going, XYZ. Okay, maybe if you would listen to her, you could get it and correct it. He's abusive. He doesn't listen to her when she speaks. And then he blames her when she gets defensive. Like, of course she's going to get defensive. You continue to attack her. Anyway, let me keep going. I'm not reading this whole thing to you guys. Yo, she is over his tactics, talking about now he's a victim and this is his life. He always ends up hurt. Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah, now he's done with the marriage at this point, in bed, and he's doing the woe is me thing and saying he's gonna end it. This always happens to him. He ends up by himself, yada yada yada. He wants to end the marriage. And I'm like, why? Because she called you out about being a drunk or being drunk that night. Anyway, laugh out loud. Now that he's mad, he wants to comfort her, but then still blames her by going to hug her. Okay, right. So basically, she explains to him that this whole situation is like ramping up her anxiety. She already suffers from anxiety, and having to deal with his nonsense is really making it difficult for her. And so this is what he does that I also don't like. He always manages to blame her. Even in his apologies, he's blaming her. So in this instance, once she's explained to him how this is negatively affecting her, he's like, you didn't tell me that. I didn't know. Making her wrong again. Like, it's her fault. He didn't know that she has anxiety. And if he knew she had anxiety, he wouldn't be abusive. No, you would still be abusive. That's a you thing. That's not her. Like, anyway, she says she feels like she's drowning. And he's like, why? What's wrong? And it's like, what? Why don't you know what's wrong? Why can't you see why this woman feels like she's drowning? It's just annoying for me. Anyway, I say so much stuff about Eric this episode, and I just can't. Like, it's just too much. The gist is that he is abusive with his language. The way he speaks is rude. It's disrespectful. It's not acceptable. It's not okay. It's not loving. It's not kind. It is demeaning, and I just feel very bad for her, okay? I feel very bad for her. And she lets him know, like, I feel like I'm the only one making sacrifices, and that she's the only one trying to do things different. She says her whole life is different. She doesn't see her friends anymore. She doesn't see her cats, XYZ. And he's just chilling. He's like unbothered. And then when I heard her say that, it made me feel like, back onto like episode 3 or 4, it made me feel like he was lying about his allergies. Remember when he went to her place and he was like, he's allergic to cats? And she was like, you are not sneezing. Like, no, you're not. He's like, I just take Benadryl. She said, well, you could keep popping Benadryls. And I was like, that's insensitive if this man is allergic to cats. But now I feel like he was lying about it so that she doesn't bring her cats around because he just doesn't like it. Like, it was his way of manipulating the situation to get his way. It was another way to control her, but I don't really know. He could have been telling the truth about her cats, but I feel for this woman. She's changing her whole world around to try and accommodate this man and all of his demands, but he hasn't changed anything. Ooh, when she said, if you say I can leave, I swear to God, I will punch you in the face. Listen, I would not be mad if she actually punched him in the face. If he got hit by her, he would have earned that punch, okay? I don't want to hear nothing about violence is bad. Nobody should put their hands on each other. You're right. No one should put their hands on each other. Men shouldn't hit women. Women shouldn't hit men. But at the end of the day, okay, Virginia's little self is not going to, like, injure Eric that bad. And if she does, he's, like, had it coming the way he's been speaking to her this entire time. Like, he's been emotionally and verbally abusing her. So he got a little physical abuse as payback, so I think he would have deserved it. Anyway, Haley and Jacob. I don't think Jacob lashed out bad. Laugh out loud. He like, you hug strangers with no problem, but hug me is icky. And I said, aren't they always resetting? I actually think they look nice together, though. I think they look nice together. They just can't get right, okay? Can't get right. That is Haley and Jacob. So Paige meets up with her brother and her brother's wife. They come over to her place. I don't know if it's the place that Married at First Sight gave to them or if it's her actual apartment. But anyway, they're over. And I said, wow, Paige is really clear. She's speaking to them about what's been happening. I said, she's really been going through this all on her own. Like, she hasn't been communicating these challenges with anyone outside of the Married at First Sight cast. Everything she's saying is on point. Nothing else needs to be said. She spoke about loving herself, having to honor herself. And I said she's talking a good game right now, and I hope she's able to stay strong about that and not go back with Chris if he decides that he wants to come back around for some more camera time. I don't know, but this has always been like, this is a trend with Paige. When she's in the midst of the BS, she succumbs to it, like she plays into it. But when she's outside of it, she's very clear. She speaks very clearly about it. She makes sense. She pinpoints everything that doesn't make sense. So it's like, so if you're this clear, why did you endure so much of it? And I mean, she tells us she put the idea of marriage so high up that she was willing to do with anything to be in her marriage. She fell in love with the idea of marriage, so much so that she failed to love herself. Or maybe it revealed to her that she really didn't love herself, because if she did, she wouldn't be putting up with this. Okay? Next page. Clara and Ryan. So Ryan wants to take Clara's dog to get trained. I think he's probably on the same BS as Eric, but he's just a little bit more like tactful with it. So he positions it as wanting to bond with Miska while Clara is away, because she's a flight attendant, and so she's away for a few days out of the week on work. And I thought it was funny when Clara was like, so you want to navigate Miska, but you don't want to navigate me? Like, sir, make it make sense. They are doing the same thing, talking about sex. It is the theme of their relationship. She's not getting in line. She wants some. He's holding out. And then I said, maybe he's asexual. Or gray asexual. I just like saw a video about that the other day, and I like looked at maybe 1 or 2 more videos about it. I said, maybe that's what's happening with Ryan. He's asexual or gray asexual. Like, sexual intimacy is not a, and please forgive me if I am describing asexuality and being gray asexual inaccurately, but from what I recall, I think maybe he does not see sex as like an integral part of a relationship, that his connection in terms of friendship wise, like having trust and safety, is more of a priority. And I think that makes sense. And I think the question still would be, do you not feel safe with Clara? Like, what else does she need to do? What else do you need from her so that you do feel safe with her and can take this next step? But then again, because he is saying that he has had sex, and he is saying that he eventually will have sex with his wife, he just needs to have a certain level of trust in order to get there, which makes sense. But can you articulate for her what that looks like? Like, what does she need to do so that you feel safe around her and feel like you can open up? But then the other part is like emotionally, from what I read, like some people who are asexual or gray asexual need to have a strong emotional connection with someone to be sexually attracted to them. So then it's like, okay, well, if you need that strong emotional connection, don't you have to be like emotional as well? And he seems like he blocks off going deep. He blocks off the emotions. So I'm confused. But that was my big aha, like, maybe Ryan is asexual, everybody, okay? Or gray asexual. I need Dr. Viviana to come on and explore that with him, because that could answer so many questions and that could help Clara out. And then I was watching, and it seemed like a lot of these people who were asexual or gray asexual had polyamorous relationships where there was, the other person in the relationship helped satisfy the needs of their partner who wasn't asexual. And it all worked out because the asexual partner is like, well, I don't want to do that with you anyway. So this is great. Maybe they need to, you know what I'm saying, add somebody else to the mix. Anyway, I'm being silly, but we get to Haley and Jacob. And I said, I don't know, I was glad Haley won go-kart racing. Oh, because guys always think they're better than women. It's just like, and I said, why is Jacob looking like that? Like, is he not having fun? Is he upset that she won or that she's gloating? Like, it's hard to read Jacob sometimes. Like, what's going on? A lot is going on up in here, but he doesn't actually express a lot. And I'm sure that is frustrating for Haley. Like, what does that mean? Speak, brother. What is up with these men and their ability to communicate? I don't understand. Isn't Jacob like 40? Vincent and Brianna, I thought it was cute that he let her win bike riding. I'm like, dang, Brie, you couldn't do them push-ups? It's like, Vince is always compromising for Brie. I think it's sweet that he's accommodating. I also am concerned for him and his ability to stand up to Brianna, because she needs to be stood up to. Like, sis, you can't always get your way, all right? But I was very impressed with Brianna's push-ups. She had excellent form. I mean, I wasn't jealous, but I was like, dang, my push-ups look nothing like that. Virginia and Eric, I'm just going to keep saying more of the same thing. He's always gaslighting her. He's always comparing. I just think it's unfortunate that she consistently, or at times, is accountable for her actions. So in this scene, she said, my anxiety and acting crazy, I'm very aware of that, and I feel bad that it falls on you. And it's like, okay, that's fine, but is Eric going to acknowledge his crazy and how his acting badly falls on her? If he does apologize, they did not show it. He just accepts her apology and keeps it moving like he's the perfect one. I don't get it. And I said the best relationships are the ones where the man gives his woman the space to be all of her, period. Let her be all that she can be. You will have a great relationship. Trying to control, restrict somebody will only create resentment, and she's going to end up leaving you. Yeah, he's just a mess. Eric is a mess. He's crazy. That's really, like, I think something is wrong with him, and I'm questioning the experts. Like, what kind of psych evaluations do they give these people? Because they need to interview their exes. That's what they really need to do moving forward, is interview the ex of the prospective, like, cast members, because we need the full details on these people. The girl talk with Paige, Brianna, and Virginia. I said Brie looks so pretty. Can't wait to glow up like her. And for Paige to glow up like her too. Okay, Eric and Virginia, I'm saying the same thing over and over. I said Eric is going to leave Virginia on decision day. I said he is crazy acting all concerned about her. I said he's definitely going to leave her on decision day. Like, I really think he's going to. Because he's crazy. He's like back and forth, hot and cold. He's going to be like, she's not the woman for me. I don't know. Anyway, for the guys get together, I said that Eric looks drunk and I want one of these men to check him. It seemed like Ryan was trying to do it in a like polite way, in a diplomatic way, but I said he looks drunk. Is he okay? Why do his eyes look like that? I'm not sure. Is the relationship that toxic that he's drinking to cope? So y'all need to exit out of here. Pull up Paige and Chris and peace out. I said that it was interesting that Ryan had such a high rating for his relationship when Clara is so frustrated and miserable. And then I said he's definitely asexual. I thought Jacob seemed petty. Like, so you were tight that she put your supplements and what's that stuff called? Protein powder in the cabinet. So you just emptied it all out and put it in the spare bedroom. Doesn't she sleep in that spare bedroom? Or does he sleep in the spare bedroom? I'm not sure, but I thought that was petty. He was like, well, she didn't ask me if she could move my stuff, so I didn't need to ask her if I could move her stuff. It's just like, what is happening? Do you guys want these relationships to work, or do you just want to be right? I don't know. Okay, so this is the end of the video, right? So this is the almost like spy cams that are in the apartments, and it's a girls' talk. It is Clara. I think it's all of the ladies, really. And Clara, I said she is going off. She doesn't understand what's going on with her and Ryan. She reveals to us that she's been getting Ryan off every night. I said, ew. Why is that so nasty to me? I said, gross. I said, stop doing that. He's annoying. He's a user and abuser. What's up with these crazy men? What is going on? She's getting him off every night. Oh my goodness. What does that even entail? And it's just like, I mean, I don't really want to know, but I'm just curious because I'm like, I don't like that, because especially because he puts up this like front, like, oh no, he's trying to save intimacy, sexual intimacy. He wants to save it, XYZ, but you up here getting off every night. Like, she is doing stuff to you. You are not this like holier than thou virgin Ryan. Like, that's not what's going on. And he's putting up a front and I don't like it. Clara, stop doing that for that man, okay? Tell him he has his own body that he can satisfy. And period. That's it, everybody. That's all I have for Married at First Sight, Season 12, Episode 12. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Comment down below. I love when you guys interact with me. It's JusMeLah. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace. Eric is a big red flag. Red flags. Red flag. Ring the alarm. I've been gone for too long and I'll be there if I see another chick on his arm. No. Be happy to see another chick on his arm, Virginia. You do not want that man. Okay? Send him packing, honey. Please. You are too young for this.